Hey guys, this is Joel for 92 coming at you with another video, a live duel. I want to start making a new series. It's gonna be called How To. I got the idea from other YouTubers that showcase you how to beat decks. Why do I say that? Because I feel like people are playing a deck and they're playing it how they like. Um, that goes for everyone. I'm included in it, and everybody else who plays the deck. And it's an interesting fact that when somebody else plays the deck, they max out the deck correctly and they get the same results. It's similar to you buying like an exotic car. Let's say for example, one of my favorite cars, like a 1985 Ferrari 288 GTO, for example, that twin turbo, was it a V8? For 400 horsepower back in the day in 85 is a big deal. Someone can have that car and you drive it daily, but if you hand over your keys to someone that knows how to drive, like an expert, and I'm not gonna say people who drift cars, because I drift cars, a lot of people drift cars, what they do, the car shows, that's not legitimate because they actually wrecked a lot of cars before they got the hang of it, so you can't trust them. And a lot of them, actually, if you look at their background, criminal backgrounds. So we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying, giving it to a professional, they're gonna use your car the correct way. So they're gonna push the car to the limit. So every deck, once you build the deck, it has a limit. It has a minimum and it has a limit. It can't exceed the limit and it can't go below the minimum. So a lot of people have a deck, they have decks, but they play them at the minimum. So that's why they lose a lot. And then you have the same person that has the same deck and they win a lot. So people people never arrive at a good position because they change their deck a lot. And when they changed it, what happens is, so this is essentially like deck theory 101. Just sit down and think about what I'm saying. People don't tell you these things. You're never shared these things. No one helps you. I dissect things. Not that I'm a philosopher or anything like that, but I like to dissect things and look things out from many perspectives. So just just listen. Just listen, please. Um, if I'm lying, put it in the comments. If I'm full of crap, just tell me. But I'm speaking more to the people who are honest. Sometimes your deck could be top tier already, meta destroyer, and the owner of the deck ruins it because he changes cards and he goes away from the deck how it was supposed to be made. And a lot of people go away from their deck how it's supposed to be made because they lose a few duels. So it's the execution that determines if your deck is good. So you might have accidentally stumbled into a top tier recipe, a profile, but you play it at the minimum, so the deck is not played at the potential it should be. So what I'm saying is not a deck problem, it's a player problem. Kind of like people say it's not a car issue, it's a driver. I don't know if you ever heard that terminology. Um, so having said that, people, please, especially Dark Magician players, if you come to my channel, I thank all of the 26 subscribers that have been subscribed, but please listen. This is advice. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not trying to discredit no one. I'm just giving advice that you can write down and ponder on and think about it. If I'm lying, you got the comment section. I open the comment section for you guys. I never said not to go against me. You're welcome to. Just be ready to get into a discussion. But honestly, guys, I'm being very serious. Make a deck and you have to play it at its maximum output. So I'm going to show you an example of the correct way to play it. I'm going to play an invoke. Um, an invoke deck, and so it's made with the dogmatica engine, and a lot of these decks when you play it, they have dragoons, right? I don't know about you, but I played some with dragoons. I have over 90 videos, and let me tell you, I deal with some of them that have dragoons in them, shoddoll decks, shoddoll invoked. Um, and this one that I'm playing has obviously the top tier. They're playing the dogmatica engine together with it, and a lot of them they have dragoon in it too. So so every deck has a weakness. As long as it exists, it has a weakness. Dark Magician has a weakness. Every deck created has a weakness. Some decks have floodgates, and there's cards to stop it. So I'm gonna make a series of videos that talks specifically how to beat that deck, and then also teaches you how to play your Dark Magician deck correctly. So let me explain. So we have Jester, we have Magician Souls, we have Soul Servant, and we have Veil, and we have Rod. So the correct way to think about it is you're going to be negated 2 times. That's right, you heard me. I say it in all my videos. As soon as you get your hand, the next thing you have to think about is being negated twice. Don't play with another mindset. If you're playing it with another mindset, you're wrong. You're already lost. And that's why most of the players lose. A lot of people go to play locals or in a tournament and they do very poorly because they're expecting to win. And sadly enough, other people go already with a wrong expectation. They go thinking they're going to lose. I'm not saying either. What I'm saying is to when you get a hand, you should already be thinking of you're going to be negated twice. This isn't a new theory. It's not something that came by. I've been saying this for months. So if you look at my hand, everything I have can be negated. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 cards and they all do at least 3 things. You might argue, say it's not true. That's fine. So it's time to stop talking and prove it. So the proper thing is to send the Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard. Then special summon. And then they're obviously going to negate. What did I say? They're gonna negate. You never open with Rod first. Now, quote me on this. Attack me all you want. Give me all crucify me, do whatever you want. I go contrary to what all the Dark Magician players say, all of them, 100% of them. They tell you open with Rod. That's already a person that already lose. You don't need to hear them too much. If you hear the words you open with Rod, that person he's not gonna win. Now, I could be lying. Go find them and then listen to them talk, and then you do your own homework, and you're gonna find out people that say those words, they already lost. And then if I'm telling the truth, then they should lose. If I'm lying, they should win. So we don't say words like open with Rod. Opening with Rod means nothing. If you get a Rod, it's called an extra. I never say open with Rod. I don't care about Rod. So the first thing you do is you save Rod for later. So first you activate Magician Souls, you summon. You have 2 cards. You can stack a card and use the other one to draw into something you need, or you can save Veil. They already negated your card, so that you only have 1 more negation. Isn't that true? So now what you do is, like I said, you could do whatever you want, but he already negated souls. So since he negated souls, you move on to the next card. The next card that's going to be negated, which would be your Rod. So Rod gets negated too. And after that, you're allowed to link off. And if they negate you a third time, then you go into something else. You go into something else and you still have Soul Servant. Now, if your rod doesn't get negated, it resolves. You want to optimize your field to get what you should always have every opening hand. People tell you, like, I've noticed people see Dark Magician players and they laugh when they don't resolve what they're supposed to get. They can resolve it, but they don't know how. So this video is for you. So what you do is you maximize every card that can draw into the deck, and you're trying to set up one Dragoon, one Circle, and one Eternal. So you're trying to banish a card and then Omni negate with Dragoon. For the people who play Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike, bravo to you, because you have a third negation on top of it all. So now, after that, I link. And you're thinking, why is he linking? Because when you link, when you do your link, that's pulling cards out of the deck, shrinking your deck more. So it dumps all the bricks, Dragoon's out. Now your deck started at 40, now it's at 30. Dragoon's out and your hand's still full, and you can still draw a lot of cards. So what you do is, the second thing is you empty the deck more. It's always about emptying the deck more. Don't go, everyone plays their cards wrong. They're playing all their good cards in the beginning and then they're linking into cards, and that's why you draw the bricks. If you have a Dark Magician deck and you constantly say I have bricks, guess what sign that is? Like, scratch your head and wonder, what? Well, that's strange. How come they all say they have bricks? Now here's the question, how come I never use that word? Do I brick? Sometimes I do. What do? I unbrick. How come no one makes videos of unbricking? You know why? Because they don't know how. No one can give you what they don't have. It's like going to a store and trying to pay something that's worth $20 and you don't have $20, you can't give it. You can't give something you don't have. You can only give something you have. So if you do have to pay it, then you would pay with the $20. But if you don't have the money, you can't. You have to put the things back. So those people give you what they have, and what they have is a brick. That means they can't help you. They're in the same boat as you are. So I'm offering different advice. I'm saying like people say no to drugs, and Smokey the Bear says no to forest fires. I say no to brick hands. So the way you resolve it is you get rid of all the bricks. So Magician's Soul got rid of one brick, and then linking up to Dragoon got rid of 2 more bricks. Dark Magician and Red Eyes. So now you have 1, 2, 3 bricks in your graveyard. And then you unbrick some more. You activate Magician Salvation and you unbrick one more time. You pull a card from there and you set it face down. And then at the very end, when you're all done with all your bricks pulled out, you're done with all your searching, you have no more search to do, you activate, you stack, and then you pull. And then once you pull, now you have 4 cards again like you had before. And if you pay attention, all of your cards are very devastating. You have cards, for instance, like this one, bringing out Dragoon again. You got this for Omni Negate to discard. You got this for searching, and you got a spell book to draw. And then look at your field, Salvation, Eternal, and you have Dragoon. That one doesn't matter much. And then your graveyard, you have some cards. So then this is this is 100% what you're trying to do every time, every turn. People tell you like, "Oh, that's you open with that." Well, guess what? That's loser talk because you shouldn't open like that. It's not about opening like that. It's about keeping it through the duels, through the turns. Doesn't that make sense? That's why they're losing, because they lose that field they had. You're not supposed to lose it. You're supposed to fight back to get that field and have it always. So what you do next is you play the circle, and since you already had your deck at around 27 cards, you play it, and that's gonna optimally pull out another brick, because the less numbered your deck is, as the number goes down, the more the circle will resolve, because all of the cards that are non-Dark Magician searchable, you're already out. They're already in your graveyard, they're already in your hand. So the chances increase highly of you pulling something with circle. So then once you're done with that, um, you drew another brick, Dark Magic Attack. Do you want to use Dark Magic Attack? Do you want to discard it? Do you want to discard it for another card? What do you want to do? There's a lot of questions. So you just sit back. Now, a lot of people, when they see Magical Meltdown, what's the first thing they do? I don't want to name any names because I don't want to batter anyone or put anybody on the spot. But I can tell you right now, like off the bat, serious talk here, real talk. They banish Magical Meltdown with Eternal. So you're not supposed to ever banish anything unless you're trying to cause an interruption. Banishing the meltdown is not an interruption. You're doing the wrong thing. Never banish a meltdown. Banish something else. So there you go. So they're trying to get rid of all your spell and trap because they already know what you have. People mainly play Feather against Dark Magician because guess what? Once they get rid of your back row, they're free to go. Dark Magician is a backfield heavy deck. So they destroy it all. You have to choose. Do you want to lose all your spell and traps? What did you think I was going to show you a walk in the park like everybody else? You want me to be another liar? I can't do that. I have to be honest. So they use Feather to destroy all my spell and trap because this is a real duel. This isn't a walk in the park. They're going to beat us. You have to make a decision. Do you want Dragoon at 4,000? And to protect your spell and traps, does he have more cards to blow up the field or the back row? He probably does. This isn't a perfect world. You just have to make the best decisions you can. So I decide to negate. And I discard Jester. People tell you like, don't play Jester. Well then don't play it. He's an extender and I decided to discard it. And all the cards I have on my hand are going to be live. They're live. You know that, right? So he normal activates the effect. He gets a card. He's gonna be fusion summoning or bringing something from the fusion and it can boost. Invocation. He activates, chains, activates, and when somebody plays a Dragoon, as soon as you see Dragoons come out, activate your Eternal. Don't be like everybody else that waits till after it's summoned, then they activate it, then it gets negated. Correct timing, you guys. You gotta play cards at the right time. So if he plays that card, change something that's quick play so that you can summon before he does. What are you gonna summon? Guess what? Dark Magician. And you summoned it, but since he got rid of it, when he got rid of it, the circle didn't get to banish nothing, but it had no option because if you don't do it now, you're not gonna get to banish later because Macabo, he states that he can negate anything you play once, right? Or a spell and a trap. Quick effect, you can send the same type of card, monster, spell, or trap from your hand to the graveyard. Negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. You see? So why are you gonna wait till later? You already used your Omni Negate. So what have I taught you guys when you play Dark Magician? If you wanna lie, you can say whatever you want. But if you wanna be honest, I always say this. Dragoon, the moment you play it, forget him. He doesn't exist no more. He's gone. Now, the people who lie to you, they tell you, no, Dragoon's the best card you have. Three, uh, play 3 reps. It wins games. Well, I don't know what type of locals they're playing, but where I play, Dragoon's nothing. Even 2 Dragoons are nothing. They're absolutely nothing. I'm being honest. Dragoons never win me a game. I think out of the like 2,000 duels or more that I have, and maybe like 150 matches, home matches, very rarely I win with Dragoon. A lot of the reasons is because the heat goes to Dragoon. They chase after Dragoon. They chase after the problematic monsters and they leave the other ones untouched. But for Dark Magician, I keep insisting my boss monster is Dark Magician, not Dragoon. So I'm gonna make a video showing you a duel where the guy's bringing a lot of Dragoons, and I'm gonna show you how Dark Magician gets rid of them all. In fact, when I played the Pharaoh duel of Yugi versus Atem, you know the Pharaoh, it was a 1 duel and then a 2 duel, and I let him beat me in the second because I made the mistake with Red Eyes Black Dragon discarding it. I should have kept it to bring the Dragoon and win that game. I should have won, but I made that mistake because I'm not perfect. Dark Magician in my deck is enough to walk anything. I set up my deck to Dark Magician is the boss monster, not Dragoon. So let's see, because I always say the same thing. Dragoon is nothing. You see, you don't have your mindset already to the reality, then you're gonna be reality is gonna slap you in the face with the harsh taste of reality. Like Kaba would say, I'm not gonna lose my grip on reality. But basically, say goodbye to Dragoon. Uses the effect. Nadir gets his card, Dario, and then he summons special, and then he activates the effect. Demonic Ecclesia, you know what he does. Then he special by sending to the graveyard, activating effects. And now he's at 45, right? So what did I say? So what do you think he's gonna attack? You know, write in the comments, see if you're right. You know, but a lot of people, they lie. They tell you they stopped the video and all this. It's very hard to persuade me because I've had too many duels, met too many people, so I know how things go. I know there's a lot of people who lie. So like I said, if you want to test yourself, sometimes testing yourself, you don't prove anything to anybody else. You're just proving it to yourself. So pause the video. What do you think they're going to attack? Now, in my opinion, I think if they attack the right things, they could get close to winning the game. However, you know, people don't always play their cards the right way, like I said. So he had to do all that, all the cards and every chain that he did to make his card 45. And he has 1 card in his hand. That's right. He hit Dragoon, and with the other one, he hit my Predator Plant. He hit my Predator Plant. So Now we can't activate, depending on what's in his hand, we can't activate it. So he sets the card face down. Now he has no cards in his hand. So now the correct way to play it, like I said, you're thinking like he got rid of his Dragoon. No, every time I play, I know the future. So you're living in the moment and you get confused because you don't know what's going on. Before the duel starts, I already know how it ends. And what does that mean by that? My deck plays Dragoon. I already know Dragoon's gonna be destroyed. Eternal Soul is gonna be destroyed, right? That's how it goes. Or unless you can argue with me that something else gets destroyed. No, nothing else. The only thing they care about is the Eternal Soul and Dragoon because people think that that's how you win. Isn't it true? If it weren't true, then ask yourself, why do they destroy it? And that's why even the Dark Magician players can't beat me. I've never lost to a mirror match because they can't figure out the weakness. So losing Dragoon means nothing. And losing my Eternal Soul means nothing to me also. So look at my hand. I could do whatever I want. But there's a negate on the field. And a lot of people make mistakes of burning cards. Don't burn cards if you don't need to. Guys, like I always say, proper execution, the proper timing. So why burn cards when you could just attack? Dark Magician's protected anyways. Right? What did I say? He activated the effect, punishment, and he targeted Dark Magician. Isn't that true? So doesn't work on Dark Magician because he's a boss. He's my boss monster. That's why. So he uses the effect to get rid of um, Magician's Salvation. Um, Instead, he could have got rid of something else, but that's what he chose. So look at what I do. I banish and I attack. I chain off of it. And you know what I would have done? You could argue and say, oh, he could have destroyed my Eternal Soul. Look at my hand. Veil. I could just bring Dark Magician back and banish anyways, right? And then look what else I have in my hand. Magician's Restage. You know what's in the graveyard? Look at that. Remember that combo I told you? I can special it, and I have plenty of cards to do a Pot of Greed. And then on top of the Pot of Greed, I can play Spellbook and draw 2 more. So you're looking at 4 total cards drawn together with whatever I want in the graveyard. Every single monster. It's up to what I want. I'm the one deciding. Do I want Dragoon? Do I want Dark Magician Girl? Do I want another Dark Magician? What do I want? It's all about what you want. So you're controlling everything and deciding everything. And that's the proper way to play. I know this video is going long, but I need to go into detail so people understand how to play the cards correctly. So you attacked, and like I said, it was the proper move. Nothing got negated. They try to touch Dark Magician, but they can't because he's our boss monster. So we burned their card. We got rid of their effect. We got rid of their monster. Right? Isn't that what we did? So all I did was Dark Magician. So you see, Dragoon is not your boss monster. Dragoon did nothing. Where's Dragoon? He's gone. I was gonna lose because of Dragoon. But Dark Magician cleared the field. He negated, got rid of his spells. His traps. He's still on the field. Look at him. Look at him, look at him, look at him, like Big Boy says. But then I changed to Eternal Soul. I banish and then I attack. I attack the second time. You see how I maximized Dark Magician? And then look at what I'm about to do. Dark Magic Attack! You see that? And then that's not all. His field is clear. His hand is clear. So now's the time to get moving. You can't waste time. He has no cards. So you gotta go all out. You can't wait for later. Sometimes if you have the chance to OTK a person. Why? Because if you wait that you think you can have some cards, he might have a mystic mind and you're gonna be trapped. So take my word of advice. If you can OTK someone, just do it. If you can't, then just set up already. And I'm already thinking in my mind, my whole field is gone. Forget Eternal Soul, forget Dark Magician. I'm already thinking like it's gonna be wiped out. I'm not counting on it anymore. And that's what differentiates me from other players. Players are not realists. They don't live in the real world. They tell you lies. So then when they go to the reality, they get slapped. Dragoon's gone. That happened. And then I was supposed to lose my whole field. And I didn't because I don't always get what I want. Every time I play, I want everything to get negated. And every time I have a field, I want it all to be destroyed. So you might think like, wow, he sounds suicidal. He wants to lose. No, you lose. I win because I'm thinking of everything being destroyed so I can look at the future. I'm thinking my mind's way ahead of you. You're thinking of right now. I'm already thinking of 3 turns in the future, what I'm going to do. So I activate it. Then I activate the effect. My ace card. Then I activate his effect. If you don't want to use any cards on the field, don't do it. I've seen a lot of people use Magician Souls to send Dark Magic Circle to draw 2. Wrong. Circle is already not. You can't touch. You can't touch Circle. Don't touch it. They're trying to send Eternal Soul too, just to destroy their whole field. Sometimes your opponent doesn't need to be good, because people suck so bad that you kill yourself. So your opponent could be like a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck, like Kaiba says, and they're gonna get rid of you. So this deck that we battled right now, it's supposed to be top tier, and you're gonna complain and say, no, that looks like a weak deck. Okay, so if it's a weak deck, what about the other, what is it, like 6 or 7 other shoddoll invoke that I battled top tier with? They've even brought a Dragoon. How come I walked them all of them? And then you're gonna be stuttering, too much stuttering, nothing done. So I activate it, get them, maximize Magician Souls. If you paid $130 for it, and I know the new printouts are coming out, they're gonna be like $70 a pop, 65, something like that. Maximize it, man. You paid a lot, make them work. It's kind of like having workers. You pay them a lot, make them work more. They should have special skills. So if you're paying a lot for cards and they're not doing a lot of things, then you're doing it wrong, because you're paying a lot and not getting a lot in return. So people who know investment, people who understand work ethics, they know how it works. You pay a lot for something, you gotta get a lot in return. Magician Souls is one of those cards. Get rid of a brick, bring it back, Pot of Greed. If you don't want to do Pot of Greed times 2, just do Pot of Greed times 1. Draw 1 card. And then right after, I could just spellbook and draw 2 more. And there you go. And you should do overkill always. Always do overkill. Don't take it easy on your opponent. If he's your friend and you want him to win, then that's fine. But if you don't want him to win, do overkill. I always do it. Always. 100% of the time. So, pay, Dragoon. And you're thinking like, why did I do that? I'm gonna go ahead and do overkill. Look. I brought that, and I said that. Figure it out. So, you don't wanna discard you don't wanna use Twin Twister's effect to blow up a card on the field, because you already have Eternal Encircle. So you do not need to utilize Twin Twister. Twin Twister, you should already think it's an Omni Negate card. Now, I know I've told people like Magic Libra or use Magician Souls. Um, I'm sorry, Apprentice Illusion Magician always for Dragoon. In this case, no. Why? Because you have a card that requires you to discard. Discarding works against you. Please don't argue with the fact discarding a card makes you lose. It gets you closer to having less cards. It gets you closer to breaking. So those cards, if you can ultimately discard that card, like that card requires you to discard. If you could discard that card instead of using it to discard, even better. Because now you went from a card that you have to discard to use as effect, which is already a bad thing. If you don't have a card, you can't even discard. It's not live. So optimize your cards, optimize your choices, do the right move. So at this point, discard it for the Omni Negate. And then when he ends his turn, or whatever he summons, even if it's in the backfield, if he sets a spell or trap, when he ends his turn, banish it. Why do you guys wait so long to do it? So as soon as he sets it, Eternal, Dark Magician on the field, banish it, and then chain off and go into the Dragon Knight. People hate Secrets of Dark Magic. That's fine, you can hate a card, but that's why you lose. See, I use it, and I'm gonna have a Dragoon and a Dragon Knight. And if you look at my duels, I do it a lot. I have a Dragon Knight and a Dragoon on the field. Back row protected, Dragoon for Omni Negate. And you just write it out. You write it out, and next turn we're gonna draw again. Now, he thought he was bad. All these chains, 4,500 on board. And none of those things matter. Because you have to be looking at the bigger picture. The game is not about, oh, I have the best cards and I have to stop you. That's not the way it works. The way it works is you optimize for a better result. So you don't necessarily have to play all your cards. You just have to have everything blocked. And sometimes you have to lose some cards to gain some cards. Sometimes you have to lose a monster to gain another. Sometimes you have to lose all your field to learn your lesson. And some people, they lose all the time and they never grow from it. So this one was how to play your cards correctly. I made a super long video just so people understand. And then to top it off, how to beat the shoddoll, invoke, and with the dogmatica. And I can't look at his deck, but sometimes when I look at them, they have a Dragoon in there. And they play Master Reborn, and they play 3 Super Polys. You've seen it. It does nothing to me. Dark Magic attack.